Welcome to Superheroes of Science. I'm Steven.
And I'm Sarah. We co-host Science from the Experts. Our guests are professionals doing cutting-edge science right now.
They're experts in their field discussing what they know best. So listen up and learn real science from real people.
Subscribe now and stay informed of our latest episodes and show your support.
Alright, so for this episode, we decided to look at something a little different. Green roofs seem to be a growing thing.
Yeah.
Right?
They are growing, but do you know they've been around since the 1930s?
Yes, they've been around since the 30s. The General Services Administration, which is a part of the U.S. government, maintains over 2 million square feet of green roofs. And they're on many government buildings, and obviously they're on university buildings, apartments. But yeah, since the 30s. I had no idea they'd been here since the 30s.
You know, they're really useful. They relieve up to about, I think it's like 65% of stormwater runoff from
which, as we build up more and more urban environments, it's more and more important. Mm-hmm. And plus, I mean, with some of the people who, Alicia from Jacobs.
Yes.
We just interviewed her, and she talked about, the importance of the sewage versus the stormwater, where she deals with sewage, and then if we run stormwater into that overloads those.
Right.
And so we've done projects with that in the past, but this time, our episode, we kind of took advantage of this green roof,
right?
Because they were finishing it. It's one that had been started a number of years ago, but the area behind us had not been done yet. And so a group of engineering students here at Purdue had made it their project to finish this green roof for both aesthetics, for environment, for recreation.
Right.
We have up here, there's benches for people to sit, there's tables for people to sit, people over working, people over there relaxing. That's also people just walking through. But so it's really neat that they did that. And we interviewed the company, a representative from the company, who came and they're all over the Midwest. They install green roofs is what they do.
Yeah.
So we talked to the kids, we talked to the company, and found out a lot more about green roofs, more than I knew.
Right. It's very interesting. It's very great to know that these are becoming more and more common, and we were excited to learn about kind of what's needed to install one and a lot of the benefits that they provide.
Joining us today for a special episode of Superheroes of Science, we're here with John Aleck. John is a graduate of Purdue Ornamental Horticulture, and he is a sales specialist with LiveRoof for the Midwest. And so we're here looking at a LiveRoof installation.
Yes, thank you. Thanks. Great to be here. So,
start by what are live?
Yeah. Yep. Live roofs are vegetation on rooftops. And people say, well, why do we need vegetation on rooftops? Well, there's several advantages of having a green roof. Mm-hmm. One of the big advantages is stormwater management, especially in big cities, and, Chicago and New York and things like that, where, heat island effect is a real problem. So when you have so much concrete and pavement in a city, you need to really cool down that, those buildings and that structure and that city in general. And so by adding plant material to the rooftop, you're actually cooling down, and with stormwater management, a green roof will will mitigate about 90% of the stormwater, which is great, and beneficial, keeps that water from going into the storm sewers, and when it does, it's filtered, so it's actually cleaner water, any water that does go into the storm sewer. Another great advantage is just financially, large warehouses, larger roofs, if you cover a green roof, you'll get about 3 times the life of the roof because of the, you don't have any UV rays, no storm damage, things like that. The roof is actually protected. You're putting a blanket over that EPDM or PDF roof. Another great advantage is just for in hospitals, things like that, senior care. I mean, for, patients and things to look out onto a green roof, it's just, well-being in general,
Kind of
aesthetically pleasing, yes. Yeah. We do a lot of apartment buildings as well. We've done some here in West Lafayette as well, and it's just added extra space to a building. People go to the rooftop, they've got a garden on the rooftop along with barbecue grills and bocce courts and things like that. So
now, when
that's
you
another
go
great
into
benefit.
designing a live roof, are there types of plants that are better suited for a live roof?
Most of our green roofs are the extensive system. The extensive system is 4 1/4 inches or less, 4 inches or less of soil. And so the one we're putting on here today is 4 1/4 inches, and that's a standard system. I would say about 80% of our projects are the standard system. The type of plants that we use on rooftops is a mixture of sedums and succulents and some alliums, and they love the heat. They'll take the drought, and normally on a rooftop, if it's 80 degrees on the ground, it's about 20 degrees warmer sometimes up on a rooftop.
Right.
So we do a lot of testing in our facility in Spring Lake, Michigan. We're just east of Grand Haven. We grow all of our live roof outside from spring until fall. It stays outside all winter and gets snow covered. The modules freeze solid. The spring of the year, we apply a slow release fertilizer. They come out of dormancy and they're ready to go. The nice thing is with our product as well, with our green roof modular system, is it can be installed from late March till mid-November, weather permitting. Wow. So a lot of construction projects are always behind on schedule. So when you think it's going to be ready in the spring, sometimes it's now July or August, our product can still be installed during those months as well. Another advantage to a green roof and to a live roof is wildlife. I mean, we see birds, we see frogs, we see butterflies, obviously tons of bees. When the sedums start to flower in the summer months, it's just very beneficial to that. We have clients that actually put beehives up on the green roofs as well, so which is also great to see.
Yeah.
We do work for high-end homes, we do garden sheds, we do pool houses, we do universities, we do hospitals, hotels, apartments.
Does the building have to be designed in
Yes.
line with the green
Yes,
roof?
good question.
Put this on my house?
Nope. The key factor is weight load. So for our standard system, which is 4 1/4 inches of soil, you're looking at an additional load of 27 to 29 pounds per square foot. But we also have a lighter system as well. It's 2 1/2 inches, and that's 15 to 17 pounds per square foot. So that would be for existing structure. I hate to bring up another university, but up the road at the University of Notre Dame, the light system is actually used on their basketball arena because it was an existing structure, and the standard system is actually used on their football stadium on campus, so which is great to see. We do a lot of university work as well throughout the Midwest, and
Now, can a live roof, does it do anything to help offset like a building's carbon footprint?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, that's a big part of it as well. We do a lot of LEED Gold, like LEED type certifications for different new buildings and things like that. But yeah, it's a great job. I've been doing it 9 years now, and people, I've never had a disappointed client because they usually start out with a black dirty roof or a white dirty roof, and you cover it with our LiveRoof modules. And as you can see, as the crew's putting things together here, there's an orange sticker on those modules. The key is that orange sticker always faces that installer's belt buckle, because we move from right to left, because the way our module is designed, it's an overlapping system. So on the right side of that module, there's a lip, if you will, an overhang. And on the back side of the module, there's an overhang. But on the front and the left side, there is none. So everything fits tight together. It doesn't lock, but it just overlaps one another. And now, the other benefit to our system is, if you can see the kind of little scoops there on the sides of the tray, there's 2 on each side and 1 on each end. And all the modules line up with one another, and as they're installed, we have a person going through removing the white soil elevators. Once that soil elevator elevator is removed, now that soil spills into the module next to it. So now we're growing one uniform lawn on the system, or prairie, if you will, versus plants in individual trays. So
if we have like a drought season,
yes.
Will they have to come up and water these?
We always recommend, you don't always need an irrigation system, but water access is highly advisable, just because they are plants, they are living things, and when it gets to be 100 degrees and we're into a drought period, maybe we're not getting any rain for extensive period of time, maybe 2 weeks or so,
Right.
it's best to come up and put a sprinkler on the rooftop and give it some water once a week or so. We also do a deeper rooted system, a deeper tray system, modular system that's 6 inches deep. And the reason for that is, well, I'd like to get some diversity on my rooftop. I want some flowering cone flowers, or I want some grasses, or I want native plants. So what we do on that is we go to the 6-inch system, but with the 6-inch system, the deep system, you definitely need an overhead irrigation system. And an overhead irrigation system is the best way to water any green roof, because the soil structure is very coursey and very rocky, and so the water there's no capillary action in that soil. It's not kind of the soil that you'll find at your local big box store, and the reason for that is the plants will absorb the moisture they need from up above, and then immediately the water will pass through the module and right to the drain. In the 9 years I've been with the company, I haven't seen a dead live roof. Obviously, people don't want to maintain it. It'll get weedy. But the plants are always there. It's kind of like buying an older home that somebody didn't maintain the lawn. The lawn is there, but it might be undernourished and full of weeds. But that can all be brought back with, pulling some weeds and fertilization and some watering, and the roof can be brought back. So, but no, it's great. It's great to be back at my alma mater and doing some work here at Purdue. And thank you. Thanks so much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
So we're actually student leaders for the Civil Engineering Department. It's called the Civil Engineering Student Advisory Council, and this is one of the projects we're undertaking this year, is expanding the green roof space and also improving it so that students can sit here and study, spend a good time, just be around nature.
So green roofs make buildings more energy efficient overall, because a green roof reflects more light than what you can call a black roof, which is most normal roofs. And because it reflects more light, it keeps the roof cooler. Therefore, inside it takes less energy to have to heat and cool the building.
Yeah, there's also a lot of mental benefits to green roofs. We know college can get kind of stressful, so having sort of like an oasis area for students can be really helpful for them to kind of disconnect from classes and relax.
They decide on the plants based on what grows in the region, because each region is going to have a different variation of plants and what temperatures they can resist. And I know a lot of it has to come with the structure of the roof itself, depending on how much weight you can put on it.
Yeah. It's also important to consider the amount of water each plant can retain, because that's a big factor of green roofs. They want to reduce the water that's being drained out onto the street into the sewer system.
This project has been like something we've been doing for a while now. We're just finishing it up this year. It's been a project for a couple of years now, and we're just finally getting around to finishing this last area before it's completely done.
And so the green roof we're installing now is an extensive green roof, meaning it's lighter for the lighter structural load needs, and
the plants themselves require less maintenance, because I know there's some green roofs that will be a lot of trees. That would be an intensive green roof because it weighs a lot, and trees just generally take more maintenance because a lot of things could go wrong.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Science from the Experts from Purdue University Superheroes of Science.
If you like this episode, subscribe, give us a positive review, and share the love. Boiler up!
Hammer down.